Dear students, today we are going to start Unit 3 Electrochemistry of Standard 12th. Right? Now, this electrochemistry is actually divided into two parts. The word is electro. Electro means electric current. I will write in short EC. And chemistry is related to chemical reactions, where it will produce chemical energy. In short, I have written CE, chemical energy. So, electrochemistry is a study of production of electric current by the chemical energy. Chemical energy is produced by chemical reaction taking place, right? So, what is electrochemistry? Electrochemistry is a study of production of electric current by spontaneous chemical reaction. Electrochemistry is the study of production of electric current. Electric current is going to be produced by spontaneous chemical reaction, and that electric current is used, that means this electric current is used to carry out non-spontaneous reaction. So, first spontaneous chemical reaction will take place. Due to spontaneous chemical reaction, electric current is going to be produced, which you have studied in 11th, redox reaction, last topic, Daniell cell, electrochemical cell. So that current is used to carry out non-spontaneous chemical reaction. That also you have studied in 10th, electrolysis of copper sulfate, taking impure copper as anode and pure copper as cathode. You are passing electric current and chemical reaction takes place. So when any reaction takes place by external source where you are passing electric current, that is called non-spontaneous. So by passing electric current, you are carrying out the non-spontaneous reactions, chemical reaction. So it is clear now. What is electrochemistry? It is a study of production of electric current by spontaneous chemical reaction, and that electric current is used to carry out non-spontaneous reaction. Yeah? Now, spontaneous chemical reaction will occur in Daniell cell, which you have studied in 11, or also called electrochemical cell, and non-spontaneous reaction will take place in electrolytic cell. By passing electric current. So these 2 points you have to remember, that spontaneous chemical reactions are taking place in Daniell cell, and from Daniell cell, when spontaneous reaction takes place, electric current is produced. Non-spontaneous chemical reaction will take place in electrolytic cell by passing electric current. Both the types of cells we are going to study in detail in this chapter. But first, Daniell cell we have already discussed in 11. But again we are going to discuss. Clear? Now, importance of electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is important both theoretically and experimentally. It is important both theoretically and experimentally, right? How experimentally? In theoretically, yeah, you can say in theoretically, yeah, directly instead of writing in. Theoretically, it is important to study about the reactions, types of reactions, right? Theoretically, it is used to understand about oxidation, reduction, then redox reaction, qualitative aspect, qualitative aspects, all we are going to study in detail. Quantitative aspects, all this we are going to study in detail. In qualitative aspects, which product will be obtained when we carry out electrolysis. You can study theoretical also, right? As well as practically. Experimentally, it is used in production of pure metals like copper. You have studied, right? Impure copper is taken as anode, pure copper is taken as cathode, and electric current is passed. Both the electrodes are dipped in electrolytic CuSO4 solution. You have studied, but we are going to study again in detail, right? It is used in production of metals like pure copper, pure metal like copper, then in production of NaOH, different compounds also in production of chlorine, fluorine, etc. That we are going to study in detail. Clear? So student, you can take the screenshot. Okay. Now, electrochemistry. The reactions are energy efficient and less pollution. In electrochemistry, electrochemically, the reactions carried out are more energy efficient. The chemical reactions carried out are more energy efficient and less polluting. So they do not create pollution. So that is important. Therefore, electrochemistry, या electrochemical reactions are eco-friendly. The electrochemical reactions are eco-friendly, right? And can be used in new technology. The transmission of sensory signals the transmission of sensory signals through cell to brain, through cells to brain, and vice versa. As well as in communication between cells are of electrochemical origin, right? Functioning of the brain, the communication between the cells, all are electrochemical origin. Therefore, you can say that electrochemistry is very vast. It is a very vast and interdisciplinary subject. It's an interdisciplinary subject, right? So this is introduction part of your chapter, but in all this thing, the main important part you have to remember: electric current is used to carry out chemical reaction, that is non-spontaneous, and spontaneous chemical reaction will produce electric current. Both we are going to study in detail. Okay. Now, before going into detail in this chapter, before studying about how the spontaneous chemical reaction will produce electric current by Daniell-Cell, we will discuss some basic concepts of 11th standard. Right? Let us discuss one by one all the basic concepts. First, basic terms. You should know, already you have studied in 11th. The first basic term is oxidation. Now, in 10th you have studied metal loses electron and become positive. So here, zinc solid, it loses electron and become positive. See, Zn has lost electron and become positive. It has lost 2 electrons, so plus 2 charge. So loss of electron is called oxidation. So this you have to remember in this chapter. Loss of electron is called oxidation. Another definition is also there. The oxidation number of this you have studied 0. Here the oxidation number is plus 2. So from plus 2 to plus, from 0 to plus 2, oxidation number increases. Therefore, it is oxidation half reaction. So this point also you have to remember. So what is oxidation? Loss of electron is called oxidation. Here oxidation number increases from 0 to plus 2. So oxidation number increases, that's why it is also called oxidation half reaction. Second, reduction. Right? In this you can write metal ions plus 2 takes 2 electron and get deposited as metal, neutral. Plus 2 minus 2, it will be 0. Right? So here gain of electron takes place. Cu plus 2 gains 2 electron. So it is gain of electron is called reduction reaction. Yeah, reduction half reaction. Another definition is also there, you have studied in 11. The oxidation number of ion is equal to their charge plus 2. So here plus 2. Here oxidation number is nothing. So 0. Means charge is nothing but 0. Therefore, oxidation number decreases, therefore it is called reduction half reaction. Clear? Then we will discuss about redox reaction. What is redox reaction? This you also have studied in 11th. You can see here, Zn is oxidized to Zn plus 2 by losing 2 electrons. That 2 electrons are taken by Cu2 plus and gets converted to Cu. So if I write the net reaction, what will be the net reaction? Right? These plus 2 electron and these plus 2 electrons are cancelled. So what will be the net reaction? The net reaction will be Zn solid plus Cu2 plus aqueous gives Zn2 plus aqueous plus Cu solid. Now you know Zn to Zn plus 2, metal to metal ion is oxidation. So here Zn undergoes oxidation, but simultaneously Cu2 plus undergoes reduction to Cu. So this is called redox reaction. So what is redox reaction? Simultaneously oxidation and reduction takes place. That is called redox reaction. So here, this is called, you can say, redox reaction. Clear? You can take a screenshot. Now, the fourth definition, electrode. Now what is electrode? Metal oblique non-metal. On the surface of whose oxidation or reduction takes place. Metal or a non-metal on the surface of whose oxidation or reduction takes place. I will show you one example. For example, Zn solid, right? Earlier we have written Zn solid gives Zn2 plus 2 electron. So this metal is undergoing oxidation. So zinc is called an electrode. Another example I will take. Cu2 plus takes 2 electron and get converted to Cu solid. So Zn and copper both are called electrode. Clear? Non-metals are also used. I will take the examples. So metal or a non-metal on the surface of whose oxidation or reduction takes place. Doesn't mean only they provide the surface. They may take part in the reaction. See, zinc electrode, a zinc metal, it is undergoing oxidation. In copper electrode, Cu plus 2 is undergoing reduction. So they are called electrodes. Now, fifth is type of electrode. Right? Now, three types of electrodes are there. Number one, active electrode. First is active electrode. Electrode whose atoms oblique ions takes part in redox reaction. Electrode whose atoms or ions take part in redox reaction. You can see here, zinc electrode. The atom of zinc is taking part in oxidation. Copper electrode. The ion of copper is taking part in reduction. So electrode whose atoms or ions take part in redox reaction are called active electrode. Example, Zn, Cu, nickel, Ag, there are so many, right? So the important point I told you here, that metal or non-metal on the surface of whose oxidation or reduction takes place. But again, if you go in detail, active electrode means electrode whose atoms or ions take part in redox reaction. Okay? Second is inert electrode. Electrode whose atoms oblique ions do not take part in redox reaction, but provides the surface to carry out redox reaction. Just they provide the surface to carry out redox reaction are called inert electrode. They are not taking part itself in the redox reaction, right? For example, platinum, gold, right? Carbon, graphite, etc. Noble metals which do not take part. Platinum, gold, graphite. When you carry out the redox reaction, these platinum, ya gold, ya carbon, graphite, they will just provide the surface to carry out the reaction. They will not take part in the redox reaction. Neither their atom nor their ion will take part in the redox reaction. I will tell you in detail right now. The third is gas electrode. It resembles like inert electrode. It resembles like inert electrode. Gas electrode is nothing but it is inert electrode. Then what is difference between these two? So it resembles like inert electrode in which gaseous molecules oblique ions from solution will undergo redox reaction. Now let me take an example so that you can take understand in detail. For example, hydrogen gas electrode. In hydrogen gas electrode, dipped in HCl solution. Hydrogen gas electrode dipped in HCl solution. So when hydrogen gas is dipped in HCl solution on platinum surface, you can see what happens. At anode, hydrogen gas on the surface of platinum. Hydrogen gas actually it is passed on the surface of platinum, that is dipped in HCl solution. So it will undergo, it will lose electron, and anything which loses electron becomes positive, so it will form H plus, right? Now if I want to balance it, I can write it here 2, sorry, half H2, or I can write here 2H plus, 2 electron. So here hydrogen gas is undergoing oxidation, and when hydrogen gas undergoes oxidation on the surface of platinum, you can see here platinum electrode is not taking part. its atoms are not taking part in the redox reaction, oxidation or reduction. So that's why this type of electrodes are called gas electrode. And here platinum behaves as inert electrode. Same way, at cathode, H plus from this HCl solution, H plus from this HCl solution takes electron, and on the surface of platinum it will be reduced to H2 gas. Clear? So these are about 3 types of electrode. 2 more electrodes are there which we use in our day-to-day life. Right? What is anode? You can take number 4. Anode. An electrode where, this is important, only oxidation takes place. Don't say anode is positive or negative. Cathode is negative, anode is positive. Anode can be positive, can be negative, depending on the type of cell. Cathode can be positive, cathode can be negative, depending on the type of cell. What is anode? It's an electrode where only oxidation takes place. And the 5th one, cathode, an electrode where only reduction takes place. So this is important. Clear? So all this you have to remember it. Clear? Take a screenshot. Now the next definition is number 6, half cell. What is half cell? Electrode and a solution in which it is dipped. Electrode, suppose this is an electrode and I have taken a solution. Suppose this is copper electrode and this is copper sulfate solution. If I dip electrode in copper sulfate solution, then this is called half cell. So what is half cell? Electrode and a solution in which it is dipped. Both collectively is known as half cell. Right? I can take an example. For example, zinc electrode in ZnSO4 solution. So this is your electrode and this is your electrolyte solution. You can draw a diagram. In this ZnSO4, you can say electrolyte solution, right, is taken and zinc electrode is dipped in it. So when electrode is dipped in its electrolyte solution, then it is called half cell. Clear? Next. Standard half cell. Now what is standard half cell? If the concentration of the solution used in the half cell is 1 molar at 25 degrees Celsius temperature and pressure of the gas, if any, involved, suppose if it is a gas electrode and it is a half electrode, earlier we have discussed hydrogen gas on the surface of platinum, it is a half electrode, a half cell, then in that case pressure should be 1 atmosphere. So what is standard half cell? If the concentration used in the half cell is 1 molar, or you can say unity. If the concentration of solution used in the half cell is 1 molar, that is unity. Pressure of the gas, if any, involved. If involved is 1 atmosphere, or you can say 1 bar at 25 degrees Celsius temperature, then that half cell is called standard half cell. Clear? If concentration of the solution used in the half cell is 1 molar, you can say unity. Pressure of the gas, if any, involved, means if your half cell is a gas electrode, then pressure, gas is there, so pressure is involved. It should be 1 atmosphere, yeah, you can say 1 bar at 25 degrees Celsius temperature, then that half cell is called standard half cell. For standard, the conditions are pressure should be 1 atmosphere, concentration should be 1 molar, and temperature should be 25 degrees Celsius. Right? One more point. Then, what is complete cell? When two half cells are connected, internally and externally, then it is called complete cell. When two half cells are connected internally and externally, then it is called complete cell. Already we have discussed this in 11th standard, Daniell cell. One was zinc in zinc SO4, another was copper in copper sulfate solution. Both were connected by a conducting wire via galvanometer, and both were internally connected by salt bridge. That we are going to discuss in the next lecture. You can take a screenshot. Okay. Now the next topic is Daniell cell. Already you have studied in 11th, but again it is given, so we will discuss in detail. Right? Daniell cell, it is also called electrochemical cell. Electrochemical, galvanic, voltaic cell. Right? There are different names of this. If you use a voltmeter, voltaic cell. If you use galvanometer to measure the flow of electron, it is called galvanic cell. Right? It is also said to be electrochemical cell. So whenever we study any type of cell, we have to discuss three things. One is about the principle of the cell, second is construction, and third is working. Let us discuss first principle. It converts chemical energy electrical energy. See, in the beginning I told you electric current, and chemistry, chemical reaction. So when spontaneous chemical reaction occurs, electric current is produced. So that is going to be done in this cell, Daniell cell or electrochemical cell. It converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Right? Now, construction. In construction, take two beaker. I'll draw here. Take two beaker. In one beaker, take 1 molar ZnSO4 solution. The molarity is 1. In another beaker, take 1 molar copper sulfate solution. Take two beaker. In one beaker take ZnSO4 1 molar solution. In another beaker take copper sulfate solution 1 molar. Right? Now take two metal strip, one zinc strip and another copper strip. Take two metal strip, one Zn, another copper strip. As they are metal, there might be corrosion. So first of all, clean both the metal rod, zinc rod and copper rod with the help of emery paper. Emery paper, sandpaper. Right? Generally when we are doing painting on the iron metal, first of all we used to remove the rusting with the help of sandpaper, right? So that is called emery paper. So with the help of emery paper you remove the rust, means clean both the metal rod with the help of emery paper, wash it with water, dry it and then weigh it. You find out the weight of both the metal, right? Then dip zinc strip in zinc sulfate and copper strip in copper sulfate solution and connect both of them with the help of either a galvanometer or a voltmeter or a meter. You can put a meter also, right? A meter. So here both the half cells are connected externally through conducting wire, so that you have to remember. Now I will connect both the half cell internally. Connect both the half cell internally with the help of U-shaped glass tube. Connect both of them internally with the help of U-shaped glass tube known as salt bridge. Containing a solution of ammonium nitrate or potassium nitrate. This salt bridge contains a solution of ammonium nitrate or potassium nitrate or any electrolyte in which the velocity of positive and negative ions are same. That is important. Right? This solution is being prepared in agar-agar. Right? And it is solidified, made jelly type. Close both the end of the U-shaped glass tube with cotton plug. Close both the end of the U-shaped glass tube with cotton plug. So now it is connected internally. So this was about construction. Again I will repeat it. Take two beaker, take two container. In one container take 1 molar ZnSO4 solution. In another beaker take 1 molar CuSO4 solution. Take two metal strip, a rod, one zinc, another copper. Clean it with emery paper. Wash it with water. Dry it and weigh it to find out the weight. Then dip zinc strip in zinc sulfate, copper strip in copper sulfate solution. Connect both the half shell externally by a conducting wire via ammeter, galvanometer or voltmeter, right? Where the flow of electron will take place. Connect both the half shell internally with the help of salt breach, a U-shaped glass tube, inverted U-shaped glass tube, right? Containing a solution of ammonium nitrate or potassium nitrate or any electrolyte, where the charge of the positive and negative, the velocity of positive and negative ion in the electrolyte should be same, otherwise it will react. So this is important. Close both the end of the U-shaped glass tube with the cotton plug, and actually this solution is being prepared in agar-agar, right? And it is made solidified, gel type, right? So this was about construction. Now working. Now in working what will happen? Okay, in working, when anode and cathodes are connected by a conducting wire, at anode you can see here Zn gives Zn2 plus 2 electron. Now your solid is converted to aqueous. Your solid is converted to aqueous. So Zn, it goes into Zn plus 2 aqueous, right? The 2 electron plus 2 electron, these electrons will move from anode to cathode, right? And they will come here. Here, from CuSO4 solution, Cu2 plus, this Cu2 plus takes 2 electron and get deposited as copper here. So here, the weight of copper strip increases and Zn is converted to aqueous, so weight of zinc strip decreases. Why the weight of zinc strip decreases? Because it undergoes oxidation, right? At cathode, if you observe at cathode, the weight of copper strip increases. Why? Because Cu2 plus from CuSO4 solution takes 2 electron and get deposited as Cu solid. What will be the net reaction? 2 electron cancel. You will get Zn solid plus Cu2 plus aqueous gives Zn2 plus aqueous plus Cu solid. So this was about your working. In working, when anode and cathodes are connected, after some time, if you take out both the strip, you will observe that zinc strip, the weight of zinc strip decreases, weight of copper strip increases. Why it happens? Because at anode, Zn solid is converted to Zn plus 2 electron. At cathode, Cu2 plus from the solution takes 2 electron and get reduced as Cu solid. So weight of copper strip increases. Clear? So this is the net reaction. Now, the important point is, anode is here negative, cathode is positive. What is the important point in this? When Zn is undergoing oxidation and losing electron and forming Zn plus 2, the solution becomes positive, right? And the 2 electron moves from anode to cathode. From the CuSO4 solution, it takes Cu2 plus and get reduced to Cu. So what is left in the solution? SO4 2 minus. So here the solution is negative. due to SO4 2 minus. Solution is positive due to Zn plus 2. So this is an important point. Here the important point is, if both the solution remains charged, one is positively charged, another is negatively charged, then cell reaction will stop and the current will not be produced. One important point, the flow of electron is like this. Electron is flowing from anode to cathode. The current is flowing from cathode to anode. So this you have to remember. Electron flow is like this. Current is flowing from cathode to anode because the flow of electron and flow of current are opposite to each other. So this is the important point you have to remember. One more important point, the solution at anode becomes positively charged, the solution at cathode becomes negatively charged, so cell reaction will stop. So not once, so many times in the board exam this question has been asked, is it necessary to keep both the solution electrically neutral? Answer is yes. Why? Because if both the solution remains charged, cell reaction will stop and it will not produce current. So this type of cell is of no importance. So in order to continue the cell reaction or in order to continue the current production, we have to make both the solutions electrically neutral. And both the solutions can be electrically neutral by allowing the negative ion to flow from cathode to anode via salt bridge. So salt bridge allows only negative ion to flow from cathode to anode and makes both the solutions electrically neutral. Once both the solutions are electrically neutral, the cell reaction will continue to produce electric current. So this is an important question, right? Now, what is the function of salt bridge? The function of salt bridge is, first, to keep both the solution electrically neutral. To keep both the solutions electrically neutral by allowing negative ion to flow from cathode to anode. This is the first function of salt bridge, to keep both the solution electrically neutral by allowing negative ion to flow from cathode to anode, right? So this is the main function of salt bridge. It allows only negative ion to flow from cathode to anode and keeps both the solution electrically neutral. Second, to complete internal circuit. To complete internal circuit. So these are the two most important points of salt bridge. You have to remember. Clear? And I told you one important question. Is it necessary to keep both the solutions electrically neutral? Yes. In order to continue the cell reaction. So remember that. Now, let me calculate one point. Given E0 Cu2 plus oblique Cu is plus 0.30 volt, 4 volt, and E0 Zn2 plus oblique Zn is minus 0.76 volt. These are the standard electrode potential of zinc electrode and copper electrode. And when you say standard electrode potential, it is reduction. According to IUPAC, reduction is the most important one for standard reduction potential. So both are reduction. See, metal ion oblique metal, metal ion oblique metal is called reduction. Clear? So now, out of these two electrodes, copper is having higher reduction potential. So anything which have higher reduction potential is always written on right side as cathode, and another electrode whose electrode potential is less will act as anode. So this is important point. So now if I want to calculate E cell, what is E0 cell? Standard cell potential of the complete cell is equal to E0 reduction at cathode minus E0 reduction at anode. Who is at cathode? At cathode E0 Cu2 plus oblique Cu minus E0 anode Zn plus 2 oblique Zn. So here the value is 0.34 minus 0.76 volt. So overall value is 1.10 volt. Right? So this is an important point. Standard cell potential of Daniell cell is 1.10 volt. Now three important points are there based on this. If I connect this one with external circuit, if I connect this cell with the external circuit, then there are three important points. The first point, if Daniell cell is connected with external circuit, then number one, E external. If E external, this you have to remember, is less than 1.1 volt. If E external, which I have connected with external circuit, means externally if I pass current which is less than 1.1 volt, this is important. If this is there, then electron flows from anode to cathode. This you have to remember. And current flows from cathode to anode. This is important point. Current flows from cathode to anode. Electron flows from anode to cathode. Right? Till 1.1 volt is not achieved. Unless and until 1.1 volt is not achieved, reaction will continue and electron will flow from anode to cathode, current will flow from cathode to anode. This one. Second, if E external is equal to 1.10 volt, right, 1.10 volt, then no flow of electron and current. Means the flow of electron and the flow of current will stop. And the third most important, because this question was asked in the board exam in March 2020. In 2020. E external. So these 3 points are important. Again I am repeating. If E external means when I have connected the external circuit in this Daniell cell, and if it is less than 1.10 volt, means till then reaction will continue in forward direction. So electron will flow from anode to cathode, current will flow from cathode to anode. If it is equal to 1.10, cell will stop, means no flow of electron, no flow of current. And if E external is greater than 1.10 volt, reverse reaction will take place and electron will flow from cathode to anode, current will flow from anode to cathode. Most important point, under this condition, now your electrolytic cell is not electrolytic cell. It behaves like electrolytic cell. It behaves like electrolytic cell. So under this condition, it behaves like electrolytic cell. So this is most important point. And it was asked in March 2020. So this is the most important question. Clear? They can ask you any questions from this.